Welcome back to Prime Morning. My name is Emefa, Adeti, and this is Survivor's Story. Let's watch this out. We'll be back into the studio.
Milton and Patrick have become like Siamese twins. One cannot live without the other. Milton became physically challenged at age 8 and has since become dependent on the younger brother Patrick. Both brothers have become inseparable and now owns an advertising company together. Patrick tells us how their day is like every day.
When we wake up in the morning, after doing our quiet time, I have to carry him at my back and just bring him to the wheelchair for him to sit down. And I'll just push him to our car. And after which, I also lift him up and put him in the car, fold the wheelchair and everything and put it at the boot. Then we are just good to go.
Their mother, Agnes Boche, says when Milton became physically challenged, his father wanted him to go to a school of disability. But Milton refused. He wanted to be enrolled in a mainstream school, just like his brother Patrick.
School. No best a brother I say oh no me a Prince of Peace. No ni mami no bawo lekete school me nekelete ne ake teacher fu ake ya me eke turn e ba school. Ko papa le ka kela Hilachema school. She le eke je Hilacheji le we sumo na kele Hilachema school. She sumo a formal school.
First enkelete school ni aka make na boni na bi le fe shin nkele ya kan ya challenge hin nkele baba school shi ke hin hu no ele woni nyomo dromo ni ehin mo kan class school nkelete amekela ke ameke beba mo woni attached 3 no even school ya ko bate e ba gbe JSS na ne ba city ne na kra academy ni brother le na laboni we sani ya free exchange male ni kamete ministries of education ni nte ame masin he won na free exchange na ha mene hu ba akraka
ke mami e bi ko me page mi ni mu ya form first born e fe Hilache we to mami wa shin ni nyonmo le no ne ba tun ewo wo fe mo wale ke brother abeje no fe no le ta wo mo fe mo feel e ha le wo be problem.
Patrick says without him there's no Milton, and without Milton there's no Patrick.
I just love what I do. For a moment, I think I'm purposely brought in this world to just come and assist him. I'm actually his leg, because without him I can't move, and without him too I also can't move. So I think we understand each other.
Welcome back. Patrick says that without him, Milton is not, and without Milton, Patrick is not. Now, Milton's mother mentioned in the video that Milton never considered himself as a physically challenged person and that he wanted to go to the mainstream school. Now, I'm joined in the studio by Milton and Patrick. I want to be asking Milton that if he'd never considered himself as a physically challenged person, what did he think of himself? But before that, hi Patrick, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Great. Milton, how are you?
I'm good.
Your famous hat. You always show up in a hat. Let me see you without the hat. See? Anyway, you can put it back. Patrick, how are you?
Yeah, that's great.
You're fine. Yeah. Milton, how are you too?
I'm awesome.
Great. Patrick, I'm going to come to you. How long has Milton been living with this?
I think it started from class 3 actually.
Okay.
Yes. So if my memory serves me right, I think it's been like close to 20 years now since living with him in this disability form.
Okay, so you remember Patrick when he wasn't disabled? When you were kids, do you remember him?
Yeah.
What would you say he was like? Do you remember the time that you used to play together?
Yeah. I quite remember at JHS, someone beat me actually. And I wasn't strong enough, so I had to just resort to Milton. for him to just defend me.
So he did?
Yeah, he did. He actually fought that person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Milton. Milton,
Yeah.
so your brother says that you've been living like this for the past 20 years. I don't know what to call you. I'm unable to call you physically challenged because you told your mother that you're not ill and that you wanted to go to a mainstream school.
Yeah.
What do you see or what do you think of yourself?
I think the whole thing about not being physically challenged has got to do with the mind.
Right.
I'm physically not able to do certain things, but my mind is very intact. And the reason why I say I'm not physically challenged is because most of the things I do, even so-called able people marvel at it, and they tell me point blank that what I do, they can do it. And that is what has won me a lot of friends. Because I remember when we were in the university, one gentleman told me that he's gone through computer training, but most of the things I do with the computer is so amazing, and he is certified, but he can't do what I'm doing. So why should I categorize myself in that space of being a disabled, where I know it's a challenge?
So, Patrick and Milton was not born like this. Do you remember what happened to you?
Yes, I quite remember. I came back from school. I was okay. I felt a bit weak. I complained to my grandmom about it. I told her, I don't know, but I'm not feeling too okay. So, assuming I went to sleep on a Monday evening, normal, being able to walk. I woke up the next morning. That was on a Tuesday morning, not being able to walk. When I stand, then I go down, just like that. And all of a sudden, things began changing. Physically, I was growing lean and my limbs were reducing. So I got scared because I was confused and I was asking myself questions. Because if I'm okay and the doctors can't explain what is happening to me, I'm working, I ride. I taught Patrick how to ride bicycle.
You don't say.
I taught Patrick how to drive, even in this state.
Wait. You taught Patrick how to drive?
Yes, he drives, and I taught him how to
he
drive.
taught me how to drive.
Everything happens here.
In the mind.
Yes, and I'm well psyched. I don't know how it happened. Others will say they will need a psychologist to work on them. Or I'm this, like the earlier show today, people need emotional dependence on each other, but I don't know how it happened. When this whole thing happened, I was home thinking a lot about myself, and I was 2 years ahead of Patrick in terms of school or class. So when Patrick was in class 1, I was in class 3.
Okay.
And I had to stay home for 2 years. Yes. So I'm mostly alone with my thoughts. And I keep telling God that, God, I have aspirations. I'm a great person, I know. Because when people see me, they feel like I'm a great person. So why is this happening to me? Help me out and change the narrative for me. So I always liken my story to that of the lepers, where they were outside the gates, and those who were in the city feed, and when there are excesses, they throw to them.
Yes.
So they decided to just take a move and tell themselves that, why sit we here till we die? Let's make a move. When we go to the land of the Syrians and they die, they die. They kill us, we die.
Yeah.
If not, and they spare our lives, then we live. So that was how I took my life. That God have mercy on me. And if the need be that I'll be someone meaningful in life, it's your call.
Here we are. Patrick, and so I want to take you back to when you saw your brother, that he was physically right under your eyes, getting challenged physically. What did the doctors say? What exactly is the problem?
There's actually nothing wrong with Milton. I don't know. But I remember he was admitted at Kolebu.
Okay.
And they ran series of tests on him. But they found out that he is healthy. There's actually nothing wrong with him. But my issue is that with time, his limbs and veins and everything started reducing. And I didn't understand.
And so medically, you don't have any medical report that says that Milton Annan suffers from this and that. You don't have a medical report saying
not
that.
at all. And according to them, medically, I'm clean. But they can't explain what is happening. And they even likened it to spiritual whatever. But I don't want to take my mind there because it's a whole lot of part to chat, and psychologically it might have impact on me, even though I believe that things like that do exist.
Okay. And Milton, that's you. You've got a very powerful mind. Patrick, I'm going to go back to you again.
Okay.
You and your parents,
Yeah.
your mother, your father. Patrick didn't want to liken it to spiritual, I should say spiritual beliefs. But what about your parents and the family? How did they deal with it? And what kind of help were they trying? Could you vividly describe how much help they were trying to give to you to come out of this?
You want me to?
No, Patrick,
Okay.
you tell me.
Okay. For me, sometimes Milton will send me to run an errand for him. And there's a situation that he needs to move, and I'm not around. So he just resort to my brother or my sister or my mom for them to also come in to assist.
Right.
So in that instance, Milton doesn't feel alone.
I'm even talking about after you went to the hospital
Okay.
and they're saying that Milton is fine, but you at home can see that he's not fine. What did you do? Did you end up in any other hospital? Did you go to any church home prayer camps and all? Yes, go on, Milton. Yes.
I remember I had a fight with my dad on that because according to him, he was my responsibility. And he brought me to this world, and he had to make sure that I was okay at least. But I told him I've seen all his efforts. When he hears, I quite remember there was a time Majina Sari was coming to complex, and beginning of this whole thing was a challenge. I couldn't even afford a wheelchair. And so my dad will carry me on his back, and he will take me to the crusades. When they get to my time, they will tell me, oh, it's my turn. They tell me, go, you come tomorrow. I remember when I was in the university too, I met Lawrence Tete at Trade Fair, and he told me he's done with his miracle service. But I should come the following day. So they made a lot of attempts, and my grandmama also had to resort to herbal medicine and some few other stuffs, which she clearly stated in the video.
Yeah.
And according to her, that was what helped. But I believe my God changed everything, and God works through people. So if it's your time to impact my life, whatever means you have, whether you use normal powers or powers from God or whatever, God ordained you to make our paths cross for you to do what you got to do for me first.
Right.
Then once I'm okay,
You're fine.
you are
So
fine.
you went to normal school with
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yes.
You wrote exams.
Yes.
You passed exams.
Yes.
University.
Yes.
Did you write with pen?
Yes, I
Are you
did.
able to write with pen?
Yes. Let me say this before I write.
Right.
So when I started, I was a very good student before being admitted at Kolebu.
Okay.
So I had been home for 2 years, and the whole learning thing, I was losing it.
Okay.
So when I got acquainted with education again, and I started, at that time, Patrick was in class 3, so I had to join him there.
Yeah.
So that he would be my personal aid and everything, movement.
Right.
Maybe it's time for lunch, canteen, he pushes me around, or he carries me, whatever, buy the food from the canteen and bring it to the class. So there were a few exceptions. So when the whole thing happened, I was learning.
Okay.
I was telling God that I can't push truck.
Right.
I can't do what the others on the streets are doing.
Okay.
And I know I have something in me.
Right.
Even in this state, it should help me.
Right.
So from class 3 to class 4, when our results are out, I was better than Patrick. But now Patrick was doing well. And when my dad sees our grades and results, he's troubled. Amante, you are good, or Milton, you are good. But now things have changed. So when I see tears on his face, and mostly I deal with thoughts alone.
Yeah.
And I do intra-communication a lot. I'll ask a lot of questions because I don't have people around me. They were new to my situation. My dad is not too educated.
Okay.
My mom is not. My mom is a food vendor. My grandmom sells fish. They are not accustomed to way of living with person with disability.
Absolutely.
What they did that helped was to educate me.
Great.
And I had to find my feet along the way.
Which
And
I
that's
think
how.
you did, yeah. I mean, just to remind you that Milton is the CEO of Brothers Image Advertising, and Patrick is the financial manager. I hear you came with a lot of money. Now, Patrick, how has your brother's situation changed your life?
I think I would say I was a very, very bad kid by then.
Really?
Very, very, very bad kid.
Okay.
Very, very stubborn to be precise, if I
Okay.
put it. And I quite remember whenever, way back, whenever we go to school, I do a lot of stuff on the way.
Okay.
And when we come home, he will just report me to mom or dad, and they'll just sanction me.
Ah.
Then,
He's
they
a
will sanction me.
disciplinarian. So for your advertising company, what role, Milton, what do you do at the
Yeah,
company?
I'm the CEO and creative director.
You're the creative director.
Yes.
Okay.
So how the whole thing started was after school. That was 2013, and I did my national service in 2014.
Okay.
What inspired me to start Brothers was this. I was rejected by most companies in Ghana. They don't see on my CV, I haven't stated on my CV that I'm a physically challenged. So I apply normal.
Okay.
So when it's time for interview and aptitude test, I quite remember I wrote one aptitude test for a bank I wouldn't want to.
Actually, you
Yes,
didn't.
exactly. And I scored 90 something.
Right.
Yes, I was even teaching most of my colleagues around.
Okay.
So they were keen Milton will get this job, and when the interview started, they were calling them individually and they didn't see me. That was when I realized I wasn't built for the kind of working for someone. So I had to engineer my own way of working, and God brought Brothers my way.
Wow. And so you started with the computers. Who does the artworks and all of that?
I do.
You do the
Yes.
artwork. So Patrick, all you do is count the money.
No, I mostly meet the clients.
Okay.
And yes, take monies on his behalf and go to the bank and do some deposits
Okay.
and all that.
And he's well endowed with
Finance?
where to get
The
resources
raw materials.
at a cheaper price in terms of shirts. So he knows how to comb to get results.
All right.
So
So
if I
it's
put
like
it, I know the loopholes.
You
The
that's
products
what
and
someone
all
could do.
that, yes. So he knows where to get them, and I just create, and his works begin to where mine ends.
And
So once I'm
Great.
done, and the client okays it, Paddock takes it up to the delivery and takes checks.
What's the future like for you?
I think the future is great for us, but let me tell you the secret behind Brothers Image. Brothers Image is two brothers under one image.
one
So I'm the head and Patrick is the leg. So we are inseparable. Okay, the future is great. We have great plans. We've worked on a couple of projects together, and we are hopeful that things will even take bigger turns like what we are experiencing now. Because from 2014 to 20, I remember when we registered Brothers Image in 2016. That very year, we got a car from the business. How we managed to get it was the
Wow.
Lord's doing.
Yeah.
We are aggressive. We are built for business.
Okay.
But we just had to synergize our abilities, one, our education, two, and our understanding of what we learn in the classroom to the outside world to make a decent living out of it.
Absolutely. And so we're in 2020 now.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody will say the past is not the present. How do people still react to you? I mean, able-bodied, full-bodied. How do you feel any form of stigma? Do you feel? I mean, I know you've established that you've got a very strong, powerful mind and all of. But do you actually see when people try to look down on you?
Let me
You go on,
talk on
Patrick.
this.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember we had a job order that we need to just go to town to get some raw materials for an artwork.
Okay.
And the security man, when he saw us both enter, he said no, but Milton should stay, but I can go in. And I was like, why? He said no, he sees Milton to be a beggar. I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I just entered quietly, went to see the manager or the boss in charge. And I just told him, and like I narrated everything, the whole incident and everything to him. And they all came outside. And they made the security guy kneel down on the street
Right.
to beg Milton.
Milton, how did that make you feel?
You know, actually, I don't know what happened to me, but I seem not to care less about what people think.
Yeah.
Because if I make that get to me, there'll be moments like that, and it wasn't pleasant. This guy laughed at you because you have your arm is lean or small. you are in public, you are being wheeled, you want to go out to pee or something, you are being wheeled, you can't be alone with a friend. You see, those things were challenging. So when I was in that isolation state,
Right.
I pre-thought of all that, and I knew that if someone should give me this reaction, I should just brush them off mentally,
Yes.
not to assault them physically or like verbally, just to say awful stuffs about you, but I'll just let it go, because you don't know what I carry. And the man, most of the times, incidents like that, when it happens like that, and you are not too careful, you might brag.
Yeah.
I nearly told the guy that I can even employ him and pay him for 2-3 years.
In fact, we are telling him now.
Okay. But I kept my calm, and
Right.
most of the incidents is the way it goes. If you are not too careful, you might dirty yourself outside, and people will say, in quote, guy Ben or wheelchair
I can agree.
understand. So you need to also call back.
I see you have a lot of control on your emotions. Would you say same for Patrick?
We share our problems a lot. I believe Patrick has gotten challenges that I have unlocked the key to just solving it to him, for him, sorry. And there have been moments he just put a spark in something I'm finding difficult to solve, and I just decipher and I unlock all the puzzles. So we depend on each other for that, and I thank God we are like that.
Okay. I'm going to open the phone lines and then have viewers also calling, but I'm going to come back to ask if you have a girlfriend and if you are planning to get married. Okay, so you can call me on 0246807983, 0246807983. What would rather inspire you? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? This is so inspiring. This is uplifting. This is motivating. Call us. Talk to Milton and Patrick on 0246807983.
So
who goes first?
Let me tell you something. I remember I got a chance to visit New York.
Ooh.
Yes. I knew I would school outside, and if I will go outside, it will be education.
Great.
Because that is what I feel is my strength. But out of the blue, from work opportunity came New York.
Okay.
And I told them that it was actually a government-sponsored. It was a disability conference, and I had to represent First Lady on that, to write my report and all that.
Wow.
And I told them I had to be there with Patrick. So we went together, New York, 1 month. We did whatever we need to do. I presented my report, and I told them anytime they needed advice on how to handle whatever, I'm available.
Great.
So it's been like that. There have been moments he has sacrificed for me, and we've been cool with that. There are moments I sacrificed for him, we've been cool with that. And back in Accra Academy, I had always wanted to become a medical doctor.
Okay.
But Patrick is not too good with science.
Okay.
So I had to sacrifice the science, and most of the times our tutors told us that if you, because of your limbs, the practicals will be a problem. So I quickly moved to business, and that's how come we are both trained business administrators.
Okay, I've got a caller. Hello. Hello, Frederick Amponsa. Hello, Auntie Rebecca. Auntie Rebecca. Oh no, I had a caller from Sunyani. Hopefully she would call back. Okay. So this is how well you've been impacting in Patrick's life, and Patrick also impacted in yours. Stella, Patrick, do you have a girlfriend? Is she not watching?
Yes, I do.
She's watching you, is she not?
Yes, yes.
What about Milton? Milton, you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I was dating, but not anymore.
What happened? Got a broken heart?
It's all part of life, so
Really?
I take it like that. I don't need to be exempted from heartbreaks or broken relationships.
But it was a breaking heart. Did she break your heart?
Oh no.
She didn't?
No, it was just a mere misunderstanding from the family.
Okay.
In Ghana, our mindset on disability is away.
Okay.
So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Maybe she's not the right
I
person.
believe you'll find the right person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, with time.
Okay, but so I want to see how you're going to manage it if Patrick decides to get married and decides to raise family. What is the plan? And even you, if you decide to get married, but Can you share with me your practical?
Yes, a lot of people in our immediate environment or society have raised concern that the way we are united, the only thing that will be a problem will be a woman. An understanding woman, not just a woman, but an understanding woman. Patrick has lost a lot of relationship because of a bond.
Right.
Yes, and it's hard to be on time. Okay, Patrick, I need you here. Oh, I can't be, I'm with Milton, he needs my time and all that. But currently, Patrick's current girlfriend do understand. And when they have time, I just tell him to go have fun. Don't worry about me, because there was a time I was also dating when he wasn't.
Okay.
And I'll tell him to drive me and go and leave me there.
Okay.
So we talk, we have chit chats.
So when you're done, he come and pick you.
Exactly. I'll just call him, Patrick, I'm done. You can come pick me. And he'll do that. So that's understanding. And we are not too difficult.
Patrick, are you on the same page with Milton?
Yes.
Excellent one.
Yes.
How long have you been dating this year again?
2 years.
Hey. But okay, say shout outs to her. What's her name?
I can't mention
Yep.
But shout out to you wherever you are.
Yeah, shout out.
She's the CEO of Rinke Makeover.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's been amazing.
Oh, hello, CEO of Rinke Makeover. We greet you, eh? We greet you, Pa. Thank you for all you're doing.
She's
for
actually
us.
taking good care of me.
She is, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, you take
and I
care of
appreciate all her effort.
What's the family's take on your bond? How is your mother? Has your mother settled? Is she happy? Is she okay?
Perfect.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Take me back to memories, school, when your grandmother took you to. She said she took you to the Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes,
Can you
I
recount
do.
it for me?
Yeah, so then Minister of Education was Osafo Mafo. Yes.
Okay.
So she presented our situation to him, and he said he would do something about it because we both scored single numbers in our BEC.
Wow.
That means we were good students.
Your grandma
So I even always tell my siblings that study hard. So when I come in and I'm helping you, wouldn't be like.
Do you have more siblings? You
Yes,
have
we
older
have
ones
four.
and
Yes.
four.
I'm the firstborn, Patrick's second, a third is a lady, and the lastborn is a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are administrators, and the third person, lady, is a nurse,
Okay.
and the lastborn is an engineer.
Wow.
Yes, mechanical.
Okay.
So I tell them, study hard. So when I come in and I'm pulling strings to put you up there, wouldn't be like I'm paying people bribe to, cause our grades were good. That was what saved us first.
Right.
So he said this, your grades are good, and if you can't leave without your brother, like you can't be in the school without your brother, then I can quickly write and they will even understand. Okay. So I quickly took a letter from, there was this physically challenged group I was with.
Okay.
Yes, and they gave us a letter on their letterhead. So that was what even propelled the whole activity.
Okay.
And when they saw that, they were like, this is good. So we are good to have you here.
Okay. I've got a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Kindly tell me your name. I didn't get your name.
I'm Elvis calling from home.
Hello, Elvis from Ho. Please share with us your comments.
A nice program, very inspirational.
Thank you very much.
And the two gentlemen there, especially Milton,
Yeah.
has demonstrated that persons with disability have the capability to become what they want to become. The whole issue of disability and including persons with disability in the mainstream, workings of our country is very important.
Yes, yes.
And one critical aspect is education.
Yeah.
That is why the inclusive education policy of government must ensure that all persons with disability, all categories of persons with disability are included in the mainstream regular school system.
Right.
Because that is where they can draw the inspiration from to become what they want to become. You see, excluding them, segregating them, building a school somewhere in an isolated place for them, really taking them out of society is a threat to their development.
Absolutely.
That is why if we see the example demonstrated by Milton,
right?
He was educated in the regular mainstream.
Yeah.
So that is why I wanted he must demonstrate this to society to understand that.
Yeah.
Education of persons with disability must occur in the regular mainstream school system.
Thank you so much, Elvis. You have spoken so well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I would want to add something to what Elvis said. About 7 months ago,
right.
I got a chance to attend an educational fair for persons with disability, and we're championing or we're voicing out that it should be all inclusive.
Okay.
Whether you are deaf, there should be a system that
is able to inculcate it into the mainstream.
Exactly. Integrate the mainstream, physically challenged, how to synergize the two to meet at a point that will be very beneficial. Because what changed my life of education, they didn't know how, but they just pushed me through. Okay. And I got acquainted with most of their ways of going about things. Give me a minute,
I'm going to come back to it. I have a caller. Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Can you please tell me your name?
Hello?
Hi, hello?
Good morning. My name is Cyril.
Hi, Cyril. Thank you for calling me. Please share with us your comments.
Okay, so, well, first of all, congrats to Patrick and Milton.
Yeah.
For defying all odds and rising to such a height.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about special education in Ghana.
Right.
And the need for teachers, parents to be aware of special education. If we talk about special education, we are talking about adaptation to equipment, changes in curriculum.
Yeah.
That suits all manner of persons with disabilities in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, so schools should be ready to accommodate students with disabilities. We have students with physical challenges, deaf students, blind students. The schools should be ready to accommodate them because that is the new trend, inclusion all over the world.
I totally agree.
If Patrick, if Milton hadn't got an opportunity to study, if the school had rejected him, that would have put some sort of limitation on him. But because the school accepted him in his condition and possibly made modifications to make his stay in the school comfortable, that has contributed to how he has risen to this height. So schools should be ready to accommodate persons with disabilities, modify their systems of their ways of teaching, assessment, so that it takes care of all persons with disabilities.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cyril. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Point well made. I mean, maybe later Daniel might take that up on Beyond the Headlines, or would go on a social watch with that one of these days. Thank you so much.
So my school was Prince of Peace International School. It's just around Ogo Road.
Okay.
And there was this particular teacher. So I had a problem with the math set, the compass. And
I'm sorry, Milton, I've got another caller for you. Hello?
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry. Can you please tell me your name? I didn't get it.
My name is Grace.
Sorry?
Grace.
Grace, thank you. All right, thank you for calling me. Quickly, I've got a few minutes left. Can you share with me your comments? Oh, no.
So, solve the calculation aspect.
Yes.
Yes, and when it gets to the maths and the compass side, he would just come and help me, and he was allowed to do that.
Okay.
But I kept asking myself, up to when?
Yeah.
So mostly when I'm solving a mathematical problem or questions, I write fast because I was practicing.
Okay.
So I solve all the calculations aspects and I leave the diagram side. If I have 1 hour or 2 hours, then I waste it on it. And that's how I became successful.
You had a strategy.
Exactly.
Patrick, quickly, do you ever have disagreements as human beings, and how do you manage?
Yes.
There's the worst one. The worst one. Don't worry about that.
I even remember we just fought just the Sunday. Serious
one.
What happened? Quickly.
We had a misunderstanding. It was with a family problem, and I shared my opinion. And Patrick was like, "You can't always have your way." So
you see,
just come
the
for the
problem sometimes I have with Milton. He thinks he's always right. He's too knowledgeable. That's how I see it.
Okay.
You understand? For there, you can't always be right. So
and the fact that you're older, you only bully him.
Exactly. Yes. So he spat it in my face, and I wasn't so happy about it. So, and most of the times, when my dad was telling him to cool off, he said, "Oh, don't mind melting. We'll just make up very soon." And lo and behold, by close of that Sunday evening, we were cool and we were laughing.
Everything is okay, like you're laughing.
Whenever we do fight, okay? Whenever we fight, okay?
And you are
I'll just push him. I'll push him.
And he does what he needs to do for me, even though we are quarreling. But we know our quarreling levels.
Okay.
Yes. So when I easing up a bit and he says, "Okay, come on, I'm sorry, let's..."
Who goes first? Who apologizes first?
It depends. Paddy can apologize.
Sometimes,
I can also apologize. Especially if it's my fault, I do apologize. And if it says, "I beg, this one not be anything. Let's just be cool and we understand each other." That's it.
I'd like to take your final words, really. Patrick, tell me your final words in all. What people should draw from you, Patrick, the role you play in Milton's life.
I think what I'll tell my fans out there is that people living with disability should not be disregarded. They should be rather helped, because I saw the light in Milton.
Right.
And I was able to help him, for him to come this far. So I think people living in those disabilities shouldn't be thrown away at all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Milton. We wish you all the best. We'll keep following up the progress of your advertising agency as well. Thank you for joining us today on Prime Morning. My name is Emefa Adeti. We'll be here same time tomorrow, 6 a.m. Do not miss it. Take care of yourself as well.